In 2021, I was part of the most viral content house on the entire internet. This content house was so viral that it gained over 1 million followers and 1 billion views in just 1 year. It all started in January 2021 when a guy named Brad DM'd me on Instagram. Now keep in mind, by no means was I popular at this time. He told me how underrated my content was and how he wanted to work with me. But little did I know, we were going to be working on a project that 1/8 of the entire world would see. Our plan was simple. We were going to create a content house. Might be thinking, bro, this was in 2021. You were literally 15 years old. How are you gonna afford a house? Well, that is what's so special about our plan. We decided we didn't need a huge lavish mansion to start this. Instead, we gathered a bunch of underrated influencers to collaborate over the internet. The OG members were myself, Brad, Jordy, Matan, Connor, and this random guy that was Brad's friend that was supposed to be our manager. And at the time, nobody except for Brad had any sort of followers. But it didn't matter because we came up with the idea that would change our lives forever. Remaking old trends. On February 22nd of 2021, we launched our first video. And by just remaking old trends, it was only 2 days later when we had our first viral video. But that was only the beginning, because over the next 10 days, we will reach 100,000 followers. Now, it was also around this time that I had started dating my now ex. And the only reason I bring her up is because she helped Jordy get into her modeling company with a ton of connections. And because of this, I was able to go to one of my first official influencer meetups. I was scared out of my mind. Over the summer, we just continued to skyrocket in growth. We hit 200,000, 300,000, and started getting attention from the news. We made websites, TV, newspapers. Because of this amount of attention and our connections, we were able to collaborate with some of the biggest teen influencers in the world. And because of these collaborations and hundreds upon hundreds of viral videos, and the next thing you know, because of this, we're going from this account with 400,000 followers to 5, 6, 7, almost 1 million followers. When we hit 1 million, me and Matan decided to celebrate by going to LA and collaborating with the Wish House, which, if you don't know, is a $100 million house that overlooks all of LA. It's literally insane. I'm literally 16 years old at this point with 1 million people watching my every move. But it felt really good and I couldn't even comprehend that number. But that was the downfall. You see, being that young and getting all this clout so fast really made me develop an ego. Remember that girl I was dating with all the connections? Well, long story short, we broke up and we haven't talked for years. And that's when people started leaving the content house. Because they had to choose between me and the content house and all of these other connections that I burnt for us. Absolutely no hate for choosing that though. Like, do what benefits you. It didn't take long after that for me to realize that I really missed the people who left and that those people were what made it enjoyable and that made the content house the content house. Of course, everybody still loved the Wayback House, but all the people and experiences that made the Wayback House was now gone. And it wasn't long after that before we knew it was time to call it wraps. But if that was the end, I wouldn't be making this video 3 years later. Remember when I said originally we made the content house all online? Well, through our journey, I met everyone else but one person. And that's the person who started it all. The person who gave me a chance. Brad's viral. I recently found out that he is moving to Florida, which is where I live now. And we're actually going to be meeting for the first time ever. And I don't want to speak too soon, but we might have cooked up a plan to rekindle the spark everyone once had.